People of Reddit have actually called the numbers written in bathrooms. What happened? One time I saw one that said call 225xxxxxxxx for a time, but right under it was written he just tells you the frickin' time. Freaking heck, that's glorious. People picked up and were confused as to why I was calling. I've never seen one that wasn't put there by another person to frick with somebody. I just do my part to help out. I didn't call, but the wall did say text for fun. The dude sent me so many pics of his hairy nipple. Not actually fun. Speak for yourself. I said, hey, someone keeps writing your number in our bathroom. She said, damn it, I think I know who. Thanks. Went straight to voicemail. If you're calling about the free BJs, please don't ring me again, and for the love of God somebody scratch my number off the dang stall beep. Did you scratch it off? Someone answered and said hello, and so I hung up really quickly. The number had call for Dirty Sailor Frick written above it. Naturally I couldn't resist calling it as soon as I got home. A very angry Latino man who couldn't speak English answered. Suffice it to say, I didn't get my Dirty Sailor Frick. It was that rejection hotline. Seemed interesting. Can't even get love from a bathroom wall without getting rejection hotline. One night, a friend and I made plans to bar hop downtown. I wasn't feeling social so I cancelled. A few hours later, random numbers started calling me. I ignored the first two but ended up answering the third one to a group of girls screaming giddily into the phone. Holding the earpiece at arm's length, I heard a cacophonous chorus of "Hey, are you really a good time? Who are you? Is this for real? You wanna come drink with us?" I hung up when they tried to play a game where I guess all their names. My beer was getting warm. An hour later, I got a call from a much calmer group of ladies that informed me of my phone number's appearance in a ladies' room of a college bar. The girl calling was out celebrating her birthday and was kind coherent enough to cross it out along with the message that said call for a good time. We still text randomly from time to time but we've never met. That actually sounds like a good story. I'm surprised you still kept up with her without ever meeting. For a good time call T. My cousin and I were 14 years old. We called the number and a man answered in a gruff voice. "Yallo." My cousin asks, "Hello, T." The man responded, "Wah." My cousin tried a little louder. "Does T live there?" The man says, "How the frick did you get this number?" We hung up and laughed. Did T live there? We will never know. I got rickrolled for the first time in months. Not the specific question, but I think the story fits here. I was getting random dong pics for a few weeks. Even some girl pics of T and ass. All gross. No one attractive. If you're curious. People sending nasty crap to me. My now ex-boyfriend at the time was P. Like WTFNX33. While the dong pics. Had a lot of fights about it. For weeks. Then he admitted to writing my number on a gas station wall. Never understood that whole scenario. Dude was weird. That was a genius plan of leaving you. There was a generic for a good time call 555. 5555. Graffiti on a bus stop bench years and years ago. I texted the guy, yes, guy, as indicated by the name, and he texted me back trying to set up a time to meet up. I explained that I was just messing around and I assumed the graffiti was a joke, to which he responded, "Ain't no joke, a homie's gotta eat." Not me but one of my best friends. He moved from Ontario to Alberta for work. One day he sends me a video. He is absolutely freaking out. This is probably after he had landed and been there for about 2 days. He says he was at a bar and went to take a juice and in the stall was a number and under it said, "Best bud around." He calls the number and someone picked up after a few rings and asked what he wanted. He said he wanted a quad of his best bud and gave his address. The actual video he sent me was seconds after the courier had dropped off the bud. It was in a vacuum sealed bag and he said it was the best green he'd ever smelled. Was taking a pee in a shanky bar one night and there was a number above the urinal with the words "call for some hot time," so being the drunken fool I am thought it'd be funny to give it a whirl. I dialed the number right there but no one answered. Went to go wash my hands and this weird dude walks in. Cautiously looks around and then at me. "You called? Why? Yeah? I just wanted to see." Come into the stall and whip it out. "You better be huge." Holy crap, no. Thanks, I'm okay. Dude, you want your dong sucked or not? No? Sorry. Alright. Give me a holler if you change your mind, dear. Most awkward exchange I've ever had. Seemed like a pretty normal guy, although I didn't take him as the type to blow random dudes in bathroom stalls. Different strokes, I guess. I still have his number in my phone in case I ever have a change of heart. Was a number written on a window display, one of those wash-off spray paint Christmas decorations. Started as a joke, thought it would be funny to invite this random number to go bowling. Turned out to be a very angry woman. She immediately starts yelling about where'd you get this number blah blah blah. Eventually she gets her boyfriend brother on the phone and they start threatening to beat your butts. Eventually they try to track us down cause they knew we were at a bowling alley. They kept asking our location but obviously we lied. Eventually they called claiming to be at a local alley. At that point we started ignoring them. They never did find us. We just wanted to do some bowling. Nico, my cousin. A friend of mine wrote my phone number in the bathroom of a local bar back when I was in college. But he didn't just write my number. What he actually wrote was, call the all-knowing Thomas Servo and get answers to all of life's mysteries. So for about 6 months I would get phone calls from incredibly drunk people who wanted me to solve their problems. The best one that I remember was this guy who called at about 1:30 in the morning on a Saturday. As soon as I picked up the phone I heard this incredibly drunk guy on the other end with a thick southern accent saying, "Hey man, is this the Thomas Servo? Hey man. Hey, what should we be doing about the illegals in this country, man? What do we do about them illegals?" I told him that we should dissolve all borders and get rid of the idea of countries altogether. An idea that he fought me on initially, since without borders and countries we wouldn't have America. But he softened on it a little when I told him, yeah, but we wouldn't have illegal immigrants either, just regular immigrants. Ended up being a high school guy. I took it off with some brake cleaner. I texted him and told him, sent him a photo for proof and told him where it was, in an Aurelia's bathroom. He thanked me, telling me that he was getting dong pics 3 times a week. Not a bathroom, but a dollar bill. It said something like, call 343274238488234. DeAndrea sucks good dong. So I called and asked for DeAndrea. I guess it was still her number, but a dude answered. I asked him if I could speak to DeAndrea about some good dong sucking. He wasn't having it. I told him about the dollar and how if that was written on a dollar, it has to be true. We yelled at each other for a few minutes. Threats were made. I kept that dollar and called back a few times that week just to yell at each other. Even had a guy I work with do the same thing. I never did get my dong sucked, but that dude never killed me either. Promises, promises. The memories that last a lifetime. I used to drive long distance pretty frequently, mostly I-80 between San Francisco and Salt Lake City. It's a long, boring, lonely stretch of road with towns like Winnemucca and Elko being highlights. Even the casinos are boring. Anyway, I used to call these numbers almost every time, just to see what happened. They seem to break down into 3 major categories. Prank numbers. Numbers that somebody said call Jill at XXXXXXXXXXX and it would be somebody who'd never heard of Jill or anybody like her and whatever. Numbers that were out of service. Lot lizards, local escorts for truckers that sometimes were actually at the truck stop just waiting for a call and could meet you in 30 seconds. I actually found out that third one in a pretty terrifying way. I'm on I-80 cruising and the breakfast buffet I'd had about 3 hours ago at the Nugget in Reno starts reminding me that I also drank 4 cups of coffee. I pull into a Flying J somewhere past Winnemucca and make a beeline for the shitter. As I'm doing my business I see the number on the wall, call Amy for best BJs. $20. XXXXXXXXXX, so I figure I'll call and see what it is. Hello, Amy answers. Yeah, I saw this number on a bathroom stall. I said, which stall? She answers, Flying J in Battle Mountain. I know, which stall? Why? Look man, you want your dong sucked or what? Number. Then what the frick did you call me for? And then she hangs up. I just started laughing. Finished my crap, wiped, washed, and grabbed a soda. As I was leaving I casually glanced around to see if I could identify Amy, but no such luck. Old trucker, cop, 2 kids getting candy while their dad got gas, no visible lot lizard. As I was cashing out, the bleach blonde, semi-chubby cashier in her 60s just said to me, "Look, you don't call them numbers if you don't want what they offer." And then I realized she was Amy, the cashier. I have no idea how she was planning to make it all work, but I just casually paid for my soda and left. For a long time I just wondered how many dudes she'd blown in that restroom, how many customers waited in line, bags of peanuts and Milky Way bars and 20 ounces Coke bottles dangling from their hands as they wondered where the cashier had gone. Had an hour-long conversation with a guy called Jim. He was confused as I was. Long story short, we met up, had a pint, laughed about it, and he helped me fix my car. It was just a hookup line, which was disappointing, though I wonder if it was some crazy marketing campaign, lol. I don't have any hard data to support this claim, but I'm guessing the people who call hookup lines and the people who call random numbers in bathroom stalls most likely belong to the same marketing demographic. Local bar of mine was intrigued by the offer of a free BJ. I was drunk and didn't expect anything but a bit of humor. Turns out the malicious ex of said girl I called wrote down her number to obviously cause a ruckus. She asked what bar, and I told her. She darted over. We had a few beers and kept texting after that night. We currently have 2 twin girls and have been together for 4 years. One number asked if I wanted weed. The other was a human making dog sounds. I work for a parks department. While cleaning the men's bathroom at one, we found a blow for blow XXXXXXX, figuring it was a prank. Called the number. Girl answers, asks what I want. Told her that her number was on a bathroom wall at the park. She tells me, yeah, I put it there, you want to meet up? Told her no. Hung up and cleaned it off. Few days later, same park, same message is now carved into the wall. Supervisor decides to call it, tells her to meet him there, he'll be waiting in the stall. She shows up like 5 minutes later, walks, says drugs first then unzip. Supervisor says no B, here's some putty, fix my wall or I call the cops and get your ass arrested. She fixed the wall. Never called one, but have written them down and edited them into friends' mobile phones, replacing their mum or girlfriend though. If I was to describe what followed, usually confusion. Better just to switch the numbers for mum and girlfriend round. You are a monster. When I was a kid in the 90s, my best friend and I were at the bowling alley. We were using the restroom and my friend says, "Hey, there's a phone number here in my stall." It was the usual. For a good time, call Shannon 555 1234. So we went to a payphone to call it. We got an answering machine with a male voice, so when the beep went off, my friend starts saying casually, "Yeah, hi. We're at the bowling alley and we saw your number in the bathroom. We're looking for a good time." And suddenly I start screaming, "Hang ooh up," and we slam the phone down and run away. I'm curious to know what that guy thought when he checked his messages that day, and if that tape still exists. I'll settle this one. It's always a dude. Jenny answered, "Man, she had changed. I got offered a job, and I've just been awarded Employee of the Month." I got offered a job, and I've just been awarded Employee of the Month.